Hello and a big hello to all the pupils, parents and staff at Holy Trinity and Lowbrook. I hope everybody is keeping well. Really nice to continue to get some nice comments on my videos and some likes, so thank you for anyone who's done that. So it's Wednesday today, so on Wednesday, as you know, it's going to be an arithmetic day, but before we do that, we've got a bit of a starter, so yeah, let's crack on. Okay, so for today's starter, we're going to go back to Can You Go Quicker Than Mr. Gosling? So get your brains nice and warm, be quick, be accurate, and let's go. I shout at the screen, you shout at your screen, so same thing really. Off we go. Nine times 6, 54. 79. 6 times 4, 24. 62 divided by 2 is 31. 78 subtract 21. 57. 30 divided by 4. 7.5. Remember, quick way to divide by 4, half and half again. 10% of 14. 1.4. Remember, to divide by 10, to find 10% is to divide by 10. 120 divided by 20 is 6. Remember, if you take away the 0 on each side, you can just do 12 divided by 2. An eighth of 72 is 9. Name the shape. Scalene triangle. Different length sides and different sized angles for a scalene triangle. The difference between 5 and 38. 33. Remember, to find the difference is a subtraction. The first prime number after 20. 23. How many lines of symmetry? 1. Oh, nothing on that page. Square root of 81. 9. 1.4 times 3. 4.2. So some different ways you can do this. You could do 14 times 3 in your head if you can do that quickly. You could do the 1 times 3 and the 0.4 times 3 and add them together. So some different ways. The product of 2 and 88. $176. So again, two ways you could do this. You could round 88 up to 90, double that, and then take away 4. Because there's 2 lots of 2, or you can do 2 times 80, 2 times 8 and add it together. Some different mental strategies for that one. 640 divided by 8. 80. We know 64 divided by 8 is 8, so 640 divided by 8 has got to be 80. How many right angles? 3. 5 divided by 4. 1.25. 0.5 times 6. 3. Because 5 times 6 is 30, so it's got to be 10 times smaller. 9 plus 4 times 10 is 49. Remember, BODMAS, do the 4 times 10 first, then add the 9. Okay, so today's learning intention. Can I quickly and accurately solve arithmetic problems? As I said last week, quickly and accurately is the key. Quickly is important, accurately even more important. And can I use the inverse operation to find the missing number? So there's going to be a real focus today on using the inverse operation and missing numbers in arithmetic problems. Okay, so we are going to start off nice and simple, but I'm hoping it might demonstrate something for you. Very quick task. How many number sentences can you make using the following numbers? So press pause to do this on your own. If not, I'm going to show you. So hopefully you found 4 different ways. 2 plus 5 equals 7. 5 plus 2 equals 7. 7 subtract 2 equals 5. And 7 subtract 5 equals 2. So hopefully what you've noticed here is that these numbers are all interchangeable, and that's going to be useful when you're using the inverse operation to calculate it. For example, if it was 7 subtract something equals 5, well, you know, 7 subtract 5 equals 2, so you'd find the number in the middle. So hopefully now you know that rule, you can apply that to bigger numbers. Okay, so off you go, crack this one on your own. If you're still not too sure, I'm going to go for it now. So something adds 762 equals 1023. So therefore 1023 subtract 762 will equal that number there. We call it the inverse operation. So if you get a question like this, you'll have to use a column subtraction. 3 subtract 2 makes 1. 2 subtract 6, can't do. Oh, nothing in this column. We're going to go all the way over here. That's going to go to 0. I'll go to a 10, and then a 9, and that will go to 12. 12 subtract 6 makes 6. 9 subtract 7 makes 2. And of course, that's just a 0 there. So the answer is 261. Okay, so let's have a look at this one. 8,162 subtract something equals 543. So you're basically really finding the difference between these two numbers. So therefore, you can just do 8,162 subtract 543, and you'll get that answer in the middle, which you should work out is 7, 6, 1, 9. Just gonna make my 6 look a little bit better. Now I'm jumping ahead a little bit here and making this bit quite a bit more tricky, but if you concentrate and listen, you should hopefully be able to work it out. So again, we're going to use the inverse operation. So we're going to use some divide, because that's the opposite of multiply. Now this says 3.9 multiplied by something equals 920.4. So therefore, 920.4 divided by 3.9 equals that number there. Now, we've not really gone through when you're dividing by decimal numbers, but here's my top tip. Just make both of these numbers 10 times bigger, and you're still going to get, it's still going to fit into it the same amount of time. So just do, so if you're doing 920.4 divided by 3.9, just do 9,204 divided by 39, make them both bigger. They're still going to fit in the same amount of times, because it's just because both numbers are 10 times bigger. So let's go through a little bit of division. How many times does 39 go into 9? Goes to 0. How many times does 39 go into 92? So I'm going to do a little bit of round. I'm going to round that to 40 and that to 90. 40, 80, 120. No, definitely going to be 2. So I'm going to do 39 times 2. I'm going to do a quick multiply here. 9 times 2 makes 18. 3 times 2 makes 6, add the 1, 7. So it's got to be 78. So now it goes in twice. Now how much from 78 on 2? 92. So you could do a column subtraction, but I know in my head it's 14. How many times does 39 go into 140? Right, I'm going to round that to 40. 40, 80, 120, 160. It's got to be 3. So I'm going to do 39 times 3. Again, I'm sorry I'm not very good on this mouse. It's pretty tricky using the mouse anyway, but then I've got my phone in front of me recording. So 9 times 3 is 27. Carry the 2. 3 times 3 is 9. Add the 2 is 11. 117. So it's going to go 3 times with how much left over? From 117 to 140? 23, I believe. So how many times is 39 going to 234? Well, let's have a little estimate. 39 is close to 40. I'm going to count up in 40s. 40, 80, 120, 160, 200. 240. 6 times 40 is 240. That's a little bit less than 40. That's a little bit less than 40 than 234. I'm going to go for 6. I reckon I'm right. But I'm going to check anyway. 9 times 6 is 54. 3 times 6 is 18. Add the 5. 23. Yes, I am correct. I could have also looked at this and gone 39 times 3 is 117. I know that 117 doubled is 234, so therefore it's got to be double the amount of 39s. So some different ways you can work it out. Now, if you found that really, really tricky, that one, don't worry too much. There's only one question that's a little bit like that, but just to give some people a real challenge, I thought I'd go over that. Okay, so here we go for today's arithmetic questions. Press pause to crack it on your own. Okay, so I'm going to reveal the answers. So just some column multiplication to start off with. Then some adding fractions. So this one is something divided by 12 equals 12. So 12 times 12 equals 144. Something squared subtract 4 equals 77. Well, 81 subtract 4 is 77, so it must be 9 squared because that makes 81. Okay, so here's your next lot of arithmetic questions. Press pause to crack it on your own. So here's that question like I did at the start. So make this one 10 times bigger and then make this one 10 times bigger. And then you just have to divide this number by this one. So do 10,767 divided by 37. And you should have worked out as 291. (40 over 55). I guess that could be simplified if you divide them both by 5 to make 8 over 11. And your last lot of arithmetic questions. Remember with these multiplications, again, a little bit like forgetting decimal point with the division, but a little bit different. Pretend that's 23 times 77 and then just put count back one decimal place because there's one decimal place there. And put your decimal point in. So another one of those division ones, make that 41 and make that 9,635. Okay, so that one's 8/40, which can be simplified down to a fifth. And 119 over 8, which if you turn it into a mixed number is 14 and 7/8. Okay, so here's your best in the business bonus questions. Question number 1. I'm thinking of a prime number. I multiply it by 10, add 50, then round it to the nearest 100. My answer is 800. Write all the possible prime numbers I could be thinking of. So press pause to crack it on your own. If not, I'm going to go through it now. First of all, the question says the word all and also could. This indicates there's more than one answer. So if you just got one answer, then you've not got everything. You need to think of some more. So the number 800. All the numbers that when you round to the nearest 100 make 800. So these are going to be numbers between 750 and 849. So you need to think of all the prime numbers that when you multiply them by 10 and then add 50 come in between 750 and 849. And hopefully you've worked out the three numbers I could be thinking of are 71, 73 and 79. Number 2, the three numbers missing are all prime numbers greater than 3. Right in the missing prime numbers. So for this one, you're going to need to do a little bit of trial and error. But you can be a bit tactical now. Now, what I did is I noticed that there was a 1 on the end. So I thought about two numbers that you multiplied together and it makes a 1 in the units column. Well, I know 7 times 3 makes 21. So I was thinking it must have maybe a 7 and a 3 in there somewhere to get that to that 21. So I had to play around with a few different numbers. And the answer I came to was this. 7 times 11, because I knew that makes 77, and I multiply that by 13. You could do that in any different order and you still get to 1001. There may be some different combinations. I don't think there is, but if you found a different one, then fantastic, well done. But that's the one that I come up with. So 7 times 11 times 13, or those numbers in any order. Okay, so let's have a look at the last question. I have a rule for a sequence of numbers. My rule is the next number is the sum of the two previous numbers. Use my rule to write in the 3 missing numbers. So let's have a look at this rule here. The next number is the sum of the previous 2 numbers. So that means if you add the previous 2 numbers together, you get the next number, because of course sum means to add. So let's have a look at this. 3 plus 5 makes 8, 2 plus 3 makes 5, 1 plus 2 makes 3, and so on and so forth. So what number do you have to add to 0 to get to 1? Well, hopefully you should have worked out that 1 plus 0 makes 1. So that's got to be 1. Now, what number do you have to add to 1 to make 0? Well, minus 1. Add 1 makes 0. And last one, what do you have to add to minus 1 to get to 1? Okay, so I hope everybody got on okay with the maths today. Remember, accuracy and speed is the key with arithmetic. So I hope we were all both of those things. My next video will be on Thursday night, ready for Friday. Apart from that, I hope everyone keeps well until then. Stay safe, be good for your parents, and I'll catch you then.